Peggy 16.
It's certainly difficult to be away from all the folks that you work with day to day. You know, it's kind of like a family.
This is a company that talks about its people first. It talks about values. It talks about really, really caring. That is true.
When you look at the number of things we were able to accomplish in a pretty short period of time, it's a testament to all the skills and passion at all levels of the company.
The first case of a new potentially deadly virus has been confirmed in the United States, and it's right in our own backyard.
Given the explosion of the COVID-19 virus in our state and globally, I will sign a statewide executive proclamation later today, temporarily shutting down restaurants, bars, entertainment, and recreational facilities.
Well, it really started for us back in February when we were starting to hear early stages about the global pandemic.
We went from, first time I'd ever heard the phrase social distancing before, to the entire studio working from home in a matter of a couple of weeks.
It was scary. It was kind of chaotic, a lot of uncertainty.
We had to rise to this challenge and go from a studio all working in person day to day to working distributed all over the Puget Sound region. We developed a 5-phase plan driven by 5 priorities, and the top priority for us was employee safety. So very quickly it was developing a plan so we could get our employees working remotely and also ensuring that the day-to-day experience of playing Destiny was available for all of our players.
Is there anything confusing or unclear so far?
No, so far everything has been very clear.
Something that's very particular about Destiny is that we do work on Bungie machines to make sure that we keep certain aspects of Destiny secure. And so in order to do that, we had to look at provisioning up to 400 laptops, which was a huge number for us.
We have artists, we have designers, we have writers, we have engineers, testers. There's so many different workflows that require specific technology.
It's done. The background here got a little microphone set up so that I can record some new stuff for Destiny.
IT was the one getting burdened the most. Everybody who was working from home had basically one avenue that they understood, which was put in a ticket. And our queues just blew out of control.
Normally, our ticket workload for a month is between 700 and 800 tickets. And in March, it was 1,400 tickets.
The IT team was incredible through this. I mean, it was one of those moments where a team that's, often behind the scenes suddenly came front and center.
Our guys, they're willing to stay all through the night, and not a complaint out of a single guy. I mean, it's the best team I've ever worked with, and I could not be prouder to stand by their sides.
You got it.
As we started to get in a position where we were operational day to day, we asked ourselves, well, what can we do locally?
The Bungie Foundation has been really busy, hard at work, and we wanted to make sure that our families, especially the most vulnerable families in our community, would be able to be taken care of in that time.
So we asked ourselves, well, what can we do for kids in the area? So we actually partnered with Boys and Girls Club in the area to help provide food for kids who were no longer going to school.
They are serving about 500 meals per day. And at this point, since the middle of March, that actually equates to about 30,000 meals that they provided for families in the Bellevue community.
Bungie Foundation, thank you. Thank you, Bungie Foundation.
It's incredible stuff, but being able to use our infrastructure to support that. And then, of course, the huge effort with Direct Relief.
We partnered with Direct Relief, and we wanted to find a way to support those who have been probably some of the most hardest hit in this pandemic, which are our frontline healthcare workers. So we spun up a month-long fundraiser, and we set a goal of $700,000 to be raised in that period of time, and we've already reached our goal, which is really exciting.
One thing that's really become clear to me is how much we're all driven by that mission of we create worlds that inspire friendship. And I think it also says something about how much everyone cares about each other here.
The fact that they are willing to put their money where their mouth is to support the quality of life of the individuals that work for the studio.
I think Bungie is amazing. I look at the situation that other people are in. People are getting laid off, can't pay their bills. Bungie's made this commitment to each one of us.
I want to say thank you to the entire studio because I had the great privilege to be part of this awesome team and this awesome company. And I can't say enough about that.
The thing that I've learned the most from this is doing the right thing and prioritizing people's health and well-being has a rippling effect. I think that we'll see that in the game, and I think we'll see that in the community for years to come.
I'm Mark Noseworthy. I'm the Destiny 2 General Manager.
I'm Luke Smith, and I'm the Destiny 2 Game Director.
Before we started the show today, we wanted to just acknowledge the circumstances and the unprecedented times we're in. This is not how we had planned this several months ago to talk about the future of Destiny 2 and reveal where we're headed with the team. This show's not how we planned it. We're building the game, not how we planned it, from our living rooms and basements and with our kids and our dogs and all sorts of stuff on our laps while we're trying to make this game.
Yeah, this is just there's like an inherent weirdness to this. Even the weirdness of this is the first time I've seen you in person in the last probably 3 months, and I don't know if people know, but outside of the show that is work, those are actually pretty close. We hang out, we talk all the time. Our significant others are buddies, and so. It's super weird just to see you in person.
Yeah, not on a screen.
Yeah, not on this little Zoom screen on an iPad or something. It's just totally bizarre.
Yeah.
This is not how we envisioned this, and certainly our hope was that it would be more than just us two talking about this stuff. And over the course of the summer, a bunch more folks from the team are gonna talk about what we're up to and what we're gonna be up to.
Let's get the show started.
Es lo que quería que vieseis.
So, Luke, is it finally time to explain?
Listen, some jerk said that we were done with the Stranger's story, and as you get back into Destiny and you keep looking around and finding stones to uncover, a character who says that she's not forged in light, and where the two of you meet, ground can break, becomes a pretty interesting tool to leverage here in Destiny 2 Beyond Light and going forward. It is the beginning of a brand new era in Destiny 2. This fall, you're going to discover Europa, a brand new destination, and one of the first destinations we envisioned long ago when Destiny began. This is the birthplace of the Exo and the site of a newly active pyramid ship. As a player, you're going to face Aramis, a fallen warrior wielding a brand new power born from a very ancient darkness.
Like you, Aramis is a leader, but unlike you, she seeks revenge against the Traveler for scattering her people's once great houses to the cosmic winds.
It's up to you to confront Aramis and her growing empire on the frozen battlegrounds of Europa. And it's up to you to go beyond and discover long dormant secrets hidden beneath the surface in places lost to time, like
the Deep Stone Crypt.
Yes, there you go.
That one I
Lore
heard
corner.
Of. That one I heard of. Yeah,
doing it. There's a lot more to Europa than you might imagine, and here's your first look at gameplay from Destiny 2 Beyond Light.
Where I come from, the Darkness won. I have witnessed this firsthand. I refuse to let it happen again. It's time the truth presented itself to you. Darkness resides within, beckoning you. This is a truth we cannot hide from, and so we must embrace it. The line between light and dark is so very thin. Let's cross it together. I will give these Guardians the destruction they crave.
Man, it's time to wield the darkness. We've been waiting. Destiny 2 Beyond Light ships to all currently supported platforms on September 22nd this year. And it kicks off a new era in Destiny where players will discover the true nature of the light and the dark. Not just walking the thin line between, but wielding the darkness itself as a weapon with stasis.
And we did just get like a very brief look at that today. And, you know, obviously we're going to end up showing more throughout the course of the summer. And the other thing is stasis, this new power, isn't just going to be Guardian supers and abilities. It's a brand new damage type. So that means it's going to ultimately sit alongside Solar, Arc, and Void as the first new element we've introduced to the game since the original Destiny release way back in 2014.
This is a big deal. Like, it's a big deal to add this to the universe. Like, it changes everything.
And it's a lot of work. Today, yeah, you got a glimpse of this new power, and it's definitely the pursuit and acquisition and the player's ability to wield it. It's something that's going to be woven in through the narrative of the game. Like, the game is kind of a collision course between you and Aramis, and we're going to show you a bunch more about stasis later in the year.
Because though we're excited about what we're delivering this fall, we did say that Destiny 2 Beyond Light was the beginning of a new era.
What does that mean? Well, it means that we're thinking about Destiny beyond just any given year and thinking about it over time. And so we want to take a look into kind of the long future of Destiny. But when you want to look ahead, like we're about to do, it all starts back at the beginning.
We called it the Traveler, and its arrival changed us forever.
Eyes up, Guardian.
You must push back the darkness. Guardians are fighting on Earth and beyond. Join them.
6 of us went down into the pit. In the end, they all bowed before me. We have slain his brood. We have murdered his son. And now the Taken King comes for us all.
Thought we were indestructible.
We should have been there.
Any last words?
I'm coming home, Ace. So, this is to be a reckoning.
Free me. How long has it sat in silence, watching us? It seems those responsible for our collapse are coming back.
We've been waiting. We are your salvation.
The line between light and dark is so very thin. Do you know which side you're on?
A side should always be taken. Even if it's the wrong side.
We are building Destiny's future today, right inside of Destiny 2. It starts with Beyond Light coming this fall.
It's going to continue with the next major expansion, The Witch Queen, and Lightfall is going to kind of drive this all to a moment. These three releases represent this new era in Destiny. These eras began really in 2014 with that era of light where, players entered Destiny for the first time. They were resurrected. They went to the tower. They learned about the things the children were scared of. And, we exited that era when we became Guardians.
We are now coming out of an era of loss of our powers, one of our mentors, our innocence, and soon we will be entering an era of darkness. And if it's not clear, we are all in on Destiny 2.
Last year, we laid out a vision for the game that we wanted to build the definitive action MMO, place it in an awesome evolving world that you can play anytime, anywhere with your friends. We are still completely committed to this ambitious vision, and we're going to continue reaching to deliver it in Destiny 2. And to be clear, listen, I'm sure over here in the Twitch chat, there's some mix of salt and space dad. We haven't gotten everything right out of the gate. For example, we've already begun working on changes that we're going to make to our seasonal model in year 4 to get a bunch of the FOMO that's in the game right now out of it. And this is a response not only to your feedback, but just, we took it in the wrong direction. You can lay that at me. We're also working on things like transmog, and that's going to be an experience that means armor is kind of always valuable to you because it can always represent a look for you to chase. And we've got a bunch of other improvements to the experience that we're working on. Things like the quest log's going to get another awesome revision. We've got small touches, a oft requested one. And I think when we started Beyond Light, this was one that I made to Mike Zach
getting a dark title screen back in Destiny so that the light white heat of the title screen doesn't light up your entire apartment at 2 a.m. So there are the small features, but then there's also some big features, and maybe one of the biggest is next generation support.
I think one of the most exciting things we're going to talk about is the game's going to run at 60 frames per second and 4K resolution on the new hardware.
We're also really happy to say that whatever content you already own or will own in Destiny 2 will come with you to your next generation console of choice at no extra charge. On PlayStation, you'll be able to upgrade to PlayStation 5 for free, and on Xbox, we will support smart delivery also for free. In plain English, this means if you own Destiny 2 expansion content on those platforms now or in the future, or by Beyond Light in September, you can keep playing on the same family consoles for free without buying the expansions again. We think that's going to be awesome. And you don't have to worry about busting up your friends list either, because we're going to support intergenerational crossplay within each console platform ecosystem as well. This means that if your brother's playing on PS4 and your sister's playing on PS5, all three of you can play together. And we're going to do the same thing in the Xbox ecosystem. This year we're focused on intergenerational play. Hopefully next year we can finally do the thing and get them all playing together in the same ecosystem.
Yes. So Shadowkeep was cool, and Shadowkeep brought back the moon and upgraded and enhanced it. And so we brought a destination out of the vault and, spruced it up, and that's where you got to play. We're not doing that with this fall's destination, Europa. It's a brand new place you've never been before. And both the Witch Queen and Lightfall are going to also include brand new, never before seen destinations. These expansions will stretch out across a timeline that's going to bring much anticipated enemies to the forefront and hopefully deliver some twists, turns, drama that we don't think anyone's going to see coming.
But to deliver these big content beats each and every year and keep building on top of our seasonal experiences while making technological leaps forward, we also need to make some big changes to the way we treat some of our older legacy content.
The stuff that maybe is getting a little long in the tooth that you're not really looking at and playing anymore. You're not.
Destiny 2 is a huge game. We have 9 destinations, 40 story missions, 54 adventures, 42 lost sectors, 17 strikes, 31 PvP maps, 7 raids, and hundreds of game systems that layer on top of that. I could go on, and I probably screwed up one of those numbers. The fact is, the game is too large to efficiently update and maintain. We're on track to be like 115 gigabytes on PlayStation alone, and our updates to the game are huge, and we're starting to reach the limits of our ability to patch.
We don't want to start over from scratch and build a sequel. And in order to make a sequel, we would have to stop supporting Destiny 2. Like, it would effectively go dark.
We talked about a single evolving world, not multiple evolving worlds, but a single evolving world. And we don't want people to have to start over. We don't want to have that loss of continuity with our game systems and our communities and all the players together.
We don't want to put another number on the box. So instead, here's our plan. Each year, just as a new expansion comes out, we're going to cycle older, less actively played activity and destination content out of the live game and into what we're calling the Destiny Content Vault, the DCV. Moving content into this vault is going to allow us to add support for D2 for years, including Beyond Light, The Witch Queen, and Lightfall. This vault is also going to allow us to take content from Destiny 1, do some work on it, get it ready to come back into the Destiny 2 ecosystem. So we're not just going to be taking stuff away, we're also going to be going into the classic vault and kind of bringing some stuff back or unvaulting activity and destination content each year.
Thinking about the greatest hits of Destiny, right? Like, what are the new tracks we can lay down? What's something from the past that was like pretty cool that could be made even better if it existed today? And what does that look like?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that there's a lot of awesome stuff that the team has built over the 6 years of making Destiny, and that Destiny 2 players totally have missed out on. Like, later this year, Destiny 1's Cosmodrome's coming back this fall as a selectable destination. Its 3 strikes are also going to come back during Season 12 and Season 13, and part of the awesome thing here is a bunch of players haven't played Sepix. Sepix was the strike from the beta way back in summer 2014. It is the oldest,
the definitive original strike that we felt hit the right notes.
Yeah,
in Destiny 1, right? And we left all that behind when we made Destiny 2, and we're saying we don't want to do that again. Well, let's not do that again, but let's also reach into the past and bring it into the present.
There's a lot of great content in our past, and maybe this year we'll see a classic raid come back. I think it'd be pretty amazing this year to see the Vault of Glass kind of unvaulted and returned in front of players. I can imagine things like champion Praetorians instead of just regular Praetorians, and kind of updating it slightly to the modern context, but still preserving that classic feel.
This fall when the expansion comes out, not only are we going to be bringing back Cosmodrome and adding Europa, but we're going to look at some of that content that's been in the game for a long time, that's been free, that isn't actively played, and that's when some of that is going to be vaulted.
Well, after the show, we're going to have a much more in-depth article that you can read on our plans for vaulting content on Bungie.net, and why we're taking this unprecedented approach and what it means for the game this year and for the game going forward. We're also going to be conducting a bunch of interviews to answer your big questions, and we will continue the conversation with coverage in our ongoing This Week at Bungie community conversations, as well as there will be a bunch of player support and DPS articles about this all summer long. You know, we've placed a bunch of bets on the Destiny Cosmic board, whether it's the Traveler waking up, whether it's the Stranger dissolving after telling you, you know, there's so much more to explore out there. And so we're going to start to bring a bunch of these threads home. And here's a look at the beginning of those threads coming home to roost this summer in Season of Arrivals.
El Omnipotente ha sido reducido a cenizas gracias a ti. Y con aliados como Rasputín, ¿quién podrá detenernos?
Su sombra se extiende desde Titán a Mercurio.
¿Su mensaje es una advertencia? ¿Un truco? No lo sabremos hasta que no lo escuchemos.
Traes armas. No las vas a necesitar. Nosotros solo ofrecemos la verdad.
La oscuridad nos ha mandado un mensaje, pero hay interferencias. Es la hermana bruja de Oryx, el rey de los poseídos, Savathun.
Somos el último muro de contención ante la amenaza de un segundo colapso.
Prepárate. Esta batalla no ha terminado.
So that's the Season of Arrivals, and it starts any minute now at 10 a.m. Pacific.
So today, we looked at a bunch of stuff. We talked about the Destiny Content Vault. We looked into the past to see kind of how we got to where we are today. We looked into the far future with the Witch Queen and Lightfall. And we also talked about Beyond Light, which is the beginning of a new era in Destiny 2. And if pre-ordering is kind of your thing, like the pre-orders are going to go live today. Like if you're interested, there's some sweet bonuses, and you know that's kind of the summary of the show.
If you're excited about the start of Beyond Light and where we're headed, well, the Season of Arrivals, it's kind of like a prelude. You know, it's really setting up that story, and so we encourage you to get in and play.
There's one more thing I totally forgot. So today at 5 p.m. Pacific, we're going to launch a brand new dungeon called Prophecy. Prophecy is a dungeon that involves the Nine, and that's kind of like all I'm going to say about it, because there's a little bit of business to get to with it, and then we'll wrap. But it's got a brand new set of armor for you to chase. It's got some classic armor for you to chase. It's going to be at a really high power level, which means it's like a solid day's work plus a little bit of skill to summit that mountain.
It's free for all players.
It's free for all players. And we're going to show you a trailer in just a second. If you don't want to see anything from the dungeon, just click the little red X, or like get up and go make an omelet, and then come back, and the stream will be over, and you can play Season of Arrivals in Destiny 2. And I think that's the business side, right? We're like there, where we've handled everything.
I think it's the time to say thank you all for tuning in and giving us your time today, and just for playing Destiny and being part of this amazing community.
It has, and it will continue to be a journey. On behalf of everyone at Bungie, please, please, please stay safe out there, and, you know, we'll see you soon.